blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, guys? My name is Brendan, and the trick of the week this week is the cart full. I'll be going over what a cart full is in tricking, how you guys can land the cart full, how you can improve your technique to get a better cart full, and finally, some cart full variations that are my personal favorite when I want to change up my technique a little bit and catch people by surprise. With that said, let's get started. First, I want to talk about what is a cart full. In the sport of tricking, a cart full is not like the cart full that you'll see in gymnastics. Specifically in tricking, the cart full is an off-axis cartwheel, and because of that, when you do your full, you don't exactly turn a full 360 degrees. The off-axis cartwheel ends slightly cheated, so that way when you jump to do the full, you're only actually turning 270 degrees in the air. Guys, when you're learning the cart full, keep in mind that the technique for tricking will probably be different than the technique for gymnastics. And you have to make your cart full fit whatever technique you want it to fit. For example, if you're going to be using your cart full for swinging off-axis tricks, you're going to want an off-axis set. So you're going to go into your cartwheel on the side and do your full a little bit off-axis. So that way, once you swing, you're perfectly set for off-axis tricks like the cork or the double cork. Next, I want to talk to you guys about how you can learn the cart full. The cart full is not an easy trick, so guys, train this at your own risk. But if you want to land your cart full, this is the progression that I usually follow. First, get really good at that off-axis cartwheel, so that way you're able to make it the perfect set. And you want to be able to do that off-axis cartwheel and a massive jump afterwards, so that way we know you're able to get height off the cartwheel. After that, you want to do a cart dive roll, practicing that jump and making sure your set is really good and giving you a lot of height. Once you feel good with the cart dive roll, you're going to go ahead and flip it the rest of the way, tucking your body to do a cart front tuck. And because your cartwheel cheats it, you're going to be doing a little bit of a twist. So that's why people will call this sometimes cart Arabian, because you end about halfway and you do about a 90-degree twist before you execute the front tuck. After that, you can progress to the cart full by practicing a late half, doing your cart front, and right before you land, turning to your side and spotting the ground. And slowly but surely, you can add on bigger and bigger increments of twisting until you're able to do the cart full. Guys, when you're progressing for this trick, make sure you're progressing slow and steady. Make sure you have a good set before you go for the full, and don't just YOLO it and try and rip the twist. This trick can be a very safe progression, but only if you go from the cart front or cart Arabian and slowly add in that extra little bit of twist. There is no rush when learning the cart full. Next, I want to talk about how blocking and setting can improve your cart full and make you do the technique more effectively. When you do the cart full, the moment that you want to put in the power, the point of tension with this trick is as you're going from that cartwheel and setting into the full with that side-to-side body motion. As you do that motion, you want to be blocking your momentum. So as you're cartwheeling forward, you want to take that leg and put it down and almost fight that forward momentum to convert it into vertical momentum. And you'll be doing this using your obliques and your legs primarily. If you can get really good at blocking and setting, you'll be able to stop your momentum forward and bring it straight up. It's an extremely important skill, especially if you want to progress your cart full to bigger tricks later on, like the cart double full. Next, I want to talk about how you can use your cart full as a setup. For me and so many other trickers, cart double full was our first dub-dub setup, a double twisting skill swinging into a double cork. It's an incredibly big accomplishment for trickers, and usually it happens at the cart double full because it's one of the easiest tricks to swing from. The off-axis cartwheel lets you generate a ton of flipping momentum, and then doing that full that's off-axis gives you the perfect setup to swing into big off-axis tricks like cork or double cork. Guys, if you want a really good swing out of your cart full, I want to give you 2 tips to improve it. The first is when you do your cartwheel, put power into it. Not exactly power as jumping, but power as speed. You want to do that cartwheel extremely fast, so that way you have a ton of speed going into the full. The second big important tip I have for you guys is if you want to use cart full as a swing setup, go low and fast. When you do the cart full, a lot of the times you'll be blocking to get a ton of vertical momentum, which is really good. I talked about that earlier, but you don't want too much. If you get too much vertical momentum, you won't be able to support your weight on your swing leg, and you'll just collapse when you land. You want to do your cart full low and fast, so that way you're able to swing nice and strong. Guys, those are my 2 big tips if you want a good swing out of your cart full. Cartwheel fast as you can and do it low. Don't put a ton of vertical momentum into it if you want to swing into a trick right after. You want to block and get vertical momentum when you're trying to throw really big tricks like double fulls or triple fulls. That's when you want to convert your momentum up instead of when you're trying to use it for a setup like a swing. Next, I want to talk you guys through 10 cart full variations. Variations are an extremely important part of tricking because it's you putting your own personal spin on the trick, or just applying a different body shape. To do a variation, all you really need to do is make a change in the base skill. All you need to do is that small little tweak, and then it's something almost totally different. One small change in a variation can make the trick completely new. So with that thought, here are 10 of my favorite cart full variations. The first variation I want to show you guys is cart full as a setup. You see, I like to think about it as a separate variation when I want to use my cart full as a setup versus when I just want to use it as a trick. If I want to use it as a setup, the big thing I'll be thinking about is hitting a strong eagle position when landing. If I don't hit that eagle position when I land, I will not be able to get a strong, effective swing. So whenever I do my cart full and I'm using it as a swing, I like to think about it as a variation and try and focus on getting the biggest eagle I can. The second variation for the cart full is the cart full round. The cart full round ends just like the cart full swing. You have about the same amount of rotation. But for the cart full round, you under-rotate it just slightly, opening up your arms to slow your body down so you can execute a massive round kick with the same leg you brought back for your eagle earlier. To do a cart full round instead of a cart full swing, you just have to turn that eagle position into a round kick position. And then you have the variation. It's not a big change. You just have to open up a little sooner and throw out that kick. The third variation is the cart full shuriken. To do a cart full shuriken, you just have to execute a massive inside-out crescent using the leg you're landing on. To do the cart full shuriken, you want to set into that cartwheel, and right after you jump, right after you leave the ground, you want to turn to spot your landing, and once you do, you want to open your chest and open your legs to execute a big inside-out crescent that you then pull over to land on the kicking leg. Guys, when you're approaching the cart full shuriken, you can approach it by just doing the cart full and doing a little baby kick. and then slowly but surely making it bigger and bigger and bigger until it looks like the shuriken variation. You don't just need to cartwheel and try and throw the biggest kick you can right away. What I recommend is start with a tiny kick and then grow it into a nice big variation. Fourth, I want to talk to you guys about cartful double leg. A cartful double leg is a variation where you change the middle position of the skill. Instead of tucking in and moving to your twisting position, you move to the double leg position, hiking your legs up but still pulling your arms to the side. The biggest difference between a cartful and a cartful double leg is squeezing your legs together and pulling them up to your chest. Other than that, it's pretty much the same technique. It's the exact same set and finish. You just need to focus on that middle position. And if you can do that, then you should be able to do the cartful double leg. And if you want to learn this variation, it's extremely beneficial to have the double leg before you approach it. The double leg is that side flip in that D leg position. And once you understand that, you're able to apply it to a bunch of other skills like the cartful or even the cork. You can do cartful D leg or cork D leg, but what I really recommend is you first master the double leg flip. The fifth variation is the cartful crowd awakener. A crowd awakener is a big split kick right in the middle of the trick. And to do a cartful crowd awakener, you just set like the cartful double leg. But instead of having your legs together in the middle position, you open up your body to slow your twist in a big split. Then after that, you tuck back in and rotate over to catch your landing. Guys, keep in mind that when you do the cartful crowd awakener, you kill your twist when you hit that middle position. So you have to tuck back in a little bit to get your feet under you. But guys, the crowd awakener is one of my favorite variations of all time. Variation number 6 is the cartful feilong. And the cartful feilong is just a combination of two variations we did earlier. We'll be doing the cartful shuriken followed by the round. By combining the shuriken and the round variation, you're able to do the feilong, which is just one followed right after the other. Because you do that massive inside-out kick with the shuriken leg and land back on it, you're able to execute a nice snappy round kick right before you land. Keep in mind, guys, that if you're going to execute the shuriken then round, you're going to want to do a little bit of twisting and flipping in the beginning of the skill. So that way you have plenty of airtime at the end to throw the two variations. The seventh cartful variation is the cartful whack knife. The cartful whack knife is just like the cartful feilong, but the variations happen in opposite order. You do a round variation, but then you switch and do a shuriken. To do the cartful whack knife, you have to set almost like you would do a cartful swipe, which is just a cartful round, but you land on that kicking leg. But after you execute the round kick, you pull it back to execute a massive inside-out crescent with your landing leg. Guys, the cartful whack knife is just the same two kicks as the cartful feilong, but they happen in opposite order. You'll see that in a ton of different variations. Each variation is almost like a variation off the previous variation. You can even think about it that way when you approach cartful and cartful swing. The eighth variation that I want to talk to you guys about is the cartful rodeo. To do a cartful rodeo, you execute the cartful, but as you're jumping for your set, you pull in your swing leg, and then as you move to your twisting position, you open up into the rodeo position, grabbing that back leg and showing this nice big circle. The rodeo is one of my favorite variations just because of how aesthetically pleasing it is. You get that grab in that nice big air position. Guys, keep in mind though, if you're trying to do the rodeo, that grab and open does slow your twist. So you have to keep that in mind and set a little bit harder. The ninth variation is the cartful hyper hook. To do a cart full hyper hook, you do the cart full, but then you hyper it by landing on the same leg you would swing with, the leg you don't normally land on. Then you execute a big hook kick, kicking right across your target. The hyper hook is one of the most important and most famous cart full variations because it's such a great way to end a combo or a series of skills. Not only that, but if you execute a good cart full hyper hook, you get this nice big open body position with a leg that sweeps across the sky. It looks incredibly good, and the cart full hyper hook also has a ton of martial value if you perform it with martial technique, i.e. pointed toes and good hip turnover. The 10th and final cart full variation is the cart double full. To do the cart double full, you just do the cart full, but you add in an extra twist. That said, it's not that simple. If you want to upgrade your cart full to a cart double full, you need to do everything better. You need to cartwheel faster to generate even more momentum. You need to block and set with just enough height to rip out not one twist, but two. When you hit that twisting position, you need to be even tighter, so that way you spin faster. And you need to be more aware, so that way you can open up your body before you hit the ground. So often I see people go from cart full and then they try and rush to get their double full and they just drill themselves into the ground and get injured. It breaks my heart every time. So guys, when moving from the cart full to the cart double full, take your time. It really helps to learn a ton of different cart full variations before you even approach the double. That way you have good kinesthetic awareness and a strong cart full that you can easily manipulate. Guys, that is all I have for the cart full. If you want to suggest next week's trick of the week, please leave me a comment down below. And if you have any questions about the cart full, please leave it down there as well. I'll try and be as responsive as I can. Guys, thank you again and have a lovely day.